Hello, Stampin' friends, and welcome. This is Dee Osburn, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Today we're going to make a beautiful card using the olive branch stamp set. I'm going to make several versions, or a couple of versions of it. This version is for sympathy. But I thought it would be nice this time if I used a different sentiment, and so this time we're going to make a Happy Thanksgiving card. I think that'll pair really nicely with this card. So we're going to step into some Thanksgiving fall cards and create this Thanksgiving card today. So several sentiments go really nicely with this card. This with heartfelt sympathy came from inspired thoughts. With heartfelt sympathy, that came from inspired thoughts. The Happy Thanksgiving that we're going to use today comes from the Painted Pheasant stamp set, which I just love and can't wait to play with that. I'm going to do that very soon, maybe today. And then I thought also this, from Very Best Occasions, the Endlessly Grateful would be nice as well. I'm not going to do that one today, but I really like that sentiment, especially during this time of the year. You know, we're thinking about Thanksgiving and we're thinking about being grateful. So that's a great sentiment right there. I love that one. All right, so let me show you how I did this. This card, the base is Fresh Fig. I meant to use Rich Razzleberry, but I grabbed the wrong one. So you can do it in Rich Razzleberry. I think that would be absolutely beautiful. Today, we're going to change it up just a little bit more, and we're going to use Blackberry Bliss. I'm going to put this to the side. So I got a piece of Blackberry Bliss, cut it 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, and I'm going to give this a nice crisp fold so that it lies nice and flat for me. Then I'm going to get a piece of Very Vanilla, cut at 5 1/4 by 4, and I'm going to glue this to the inside. So let's go ahead and do that. Get my glue. Get it going. So I can't believe that Thanksgiving is almost here. Halloween is almost here. Halloween is going to be very soon. I just can't stop making Halloween cards, but I really thought I need to get into doing some fall cards and some Thanksgiving and moving into Christmas very soon, right? If you're like me, you have to start Christmas pretty early to get it all done. Because I know if I wait till the last minute, it's not going to happen. All right, then I got a piece of old olive cut at 5 1/4 by 4, and we're going to glue this one to the front. This is going to be our card front. The first layer of our card front. Okay, and we're just going to glue that to the front, get it nice and centered. Glue that down. Okay. Then I took another piece of Very Vanilla, cut it 5 1/4 by 4, and this is the one we're going to stamp on. And with this one, I tore it, and I'm going to do the same thing with this one. But if you have the deckled rectangles, you could do that. I wanted to have it to have a more dramatic effect, so that's why I tore it. So let's go ahead and get stamping. So for the stamping portion, I took the olive leaf from the olive branch stamp set, and I inked it up with old olive. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. You're just going to ink up the whole thing with the old olive, okay? But you're not going to stamp it right away. So we're going to go ahead and ink that up. And then I got some Blackberry Bliss and a dauber, okay? So I got some Blackberry Bliss and a dauber. I'll grab out my dauber here. And I didn't worry about whether or not I had green on the olives. I just daubed over them. So I got ink all over my dauber, and then I just dabbed onto the olives. I want to call them grapes, but they're not. They're olives. So you just do that, until you can kind of see it. You know, you see how I'm doing it several times, because then I can see that the ink has taken, right? So then I'm just going to turn it over, and I'm going to stamp it right here, just in the corner. And then I'm going, look how beautiful that is. And that's okay that it didn't right there, because I'm going to tear it. And then I'm going to not ink up again, but stamp it again right there. All right. Then I am going to ink it up again with the green, and it doesn't matter. You can clean it, but there's hardly any on there. I'm just going to go ahead. I usually don't like to mix my inks, but it's not gonna hurt it. There's so little on there. So, and get my Blackberry Bliss again with my dauber. Color my olives. And then I'm going to stamp it on the bottom this time, going the opposite direction. Okay. So I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to stamp it, you know, just kind of coming up into the card from this corner, just like I did the other one. Okay, and then I'm not going to ink it up again. I'm going to stamp it again right there, and I do want just a little bit there as well, maybe a little right there, and I also want a little bit coming in. Let's use this edge right here, right there. There. Now my whole card is full, right? But it's coming in the two different directions. So then I'm going to tear. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close my inks so that they don't dry out. And I'm going to tear. And you tear towards yourself. Okay, so I just put like enough that I can hold it, and then I put my other finger right there, and I tear towards myself. And I'm following my finger down so that I can, and then you can come up like this. And I'm just tearing towards myself all the way down. Okay, then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And it gives it a more dramatic, this one's a little harder because it's longer. It gives it more of a dramatic effect. That you're tearing it more than the deckled edge does, and I like that. So you do all four sides, and also by doing this, each card will look just a tiny bit different, because you know you're not going to tear it the same every single time, right? They'll look very similar because, you know, it's not rocket science, right? You're just tearing the paper, but it will look a little bit different. So before I put this down, because I'm going to pop this up, see, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. Love, love, love. Okay, I'm going to take the crumb cake baker's twine from, is that what, I don't know if they call it baker's twine anymore. I don't know. But this is from the Essentials Twine Essentials pack. I forget exactly what it's called, but I will put it in the description below. And I'm going to tie it down to the, you know, last third of the card. So I'm going to put that to the side. I'm going to turn this over. I'm going to use a couple of glue dots. So I'm going to get my glue dots out, and I'm going to put one there, and I'm going to put another one on the other side. Okay. Then I can just attach my twine to it, and I'm going to go around 3 times. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And on the third one, I'm going to attach it to the glue dot again, and then I can cut it. And I have my twine on there. And you can kind of scooch it up if you want. It's gonna you know, depend on where your cut is. Okay. All right. So then let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment. So you're gonna take a piece of Very Vanilla, and it's cut at 3/4 of an inch wide. Okay, and I'm going to use my Blackberry Bliss, and I'm going to, this time we're going to go Happy Thanksgiving, and I'm going to ink it up, and my block is kind of, I need to clean my blocks. It's time, isn't it? And you just stamp it down. Okay, close your ink so it doesn't dry up. And then I'm going to take my snips. Oh, all my things are falling over here. Fix that. Okay. Take my snips, and I'm going to cut one this way, and then I turn it, and I cut one this way. Okay. There's no measuring or anything for that. You just cut it at an angle. And then I'll put that to the side, because that I'm going to do last. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this up. So I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to get my dimensionals, and we're going to put a few dimensionals on here. I put one in each corner and one in the middle. Some people like to put them here and here as well. I don't really do that. You know, they're expensive. I mean, they're not really expensive, but you know, you use a lot of them, so they can get expensive, I guess, you know, because if you're like me, you buy a ton of them. So then you're just going to turn this over and center it. Okay. And then we're going to, I used mini glue dots on this, and here's why. Because if I use a big glue dot, it's going to hit it right on the twine. Whereas if I use a mini glue dot, I can stagger it a little bit so that it misses the twine in the center. Okay, see how I'm going to stagger that? So then that twine will go right along the center. Okay, and then I'm going to put this up at the top again. Okay, take off the backs and put that right over the twine. Okay, make sure you have it straight. Okay, and then push that down. Now we're going to do one of my favorite things, and we're going to use the bow maker. I love the bow maker. If you don't have a bow maker yet, oh, I kind of put those on upside. I was going to put them with the long ones first. It should have gone this way, but that's okay. I like it this way too. Look at the difference. Huh. I like both of them. Okay, let's get our bow maker. If you don't have a bow maker yet, oh, I love my bow maker. This is a great tool. If you struggle like I do, I'm all thumbs. I am totally all thumbs. I've seen people make bows, especially like double bows and just bows in general, with their fingers, you know, like wrapping it around their fingers and doing it. There's no way I can do that. Those people are super, super talented and have great dexterity. I'm kind of all thumbs. And I have a friend who has arthritis in her fingers, and she's the one who taught me about the bow maker. So if you have painful hands or you're all thumbs like I am, this is going to be your best friend. So you start out, I have it oriented where it's away from me. Okay, so I start out on the opposite side that's away from me. I call that behind. Okay, so you start out behind, and then you take your twine and you go in between the posts, and then again in between the posts, and I'm holding it with my finger right here. So then I want to make a double bow, and you can get more or less twine on either side as you go. Okay, so then in between and in between and behind. So then you end up with both of your pieces of twine, both your hands are holding a piece of twine behind the posts. See, and they make this nice X. So when you make the X, the bottom one comes up and around and goes behind again, so that now again you have both of your hands behind, and that knot in the middle, you can manipulate it, right? So now I'm going to take my snips and I'm going to cut away from the spool. Okay, and now I'm just going to make a knot just like I would if I was tying my shoes. Okay, so you just make a knot. And what I like to do at this point is pull both of those tails to the front and then give it one last little tighten. Okay, and then you have this beautiful, I'll show you, this beautiful double bow. And you can move those posts and make your bow as big or as little as you want. See what a cute little double bow that makes? So we're going to pull our card back in, get a glue dot again, and put the glue dot right here. And that's where I'm gonna put my bow. And you just stick that bow down and trim the tails. There we have it. Isn't that beautiful? It says Happy Thanksgiving. Or if you need a sympathy card, unfortunately we need sympathy cards from time to time. So you could do any number of sentiments with this card. So there you have it. There's your sympathy and your Happy Thanksgiving. I hope that I've inspired you to make a Thanksgiving card or a fall card. If you don't have this olive branch stamp set, I'll leave it in the link below, but it lends itself to all kinds of sentiments, all kinds of occasions, and it's a great fall stamp set for all occasions. And yeah, so I hope that I've inspired you to do some fall cards and some Thanksgiving cards. I can't wait to take this to Thanksgiving with me and give it to the person whose house I'm going to. If you liked this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment. I love to get comments, and I will comment back to everyone who comments to me. So I hope that you've enjoyed this, and I hope that you have a great rest of your day. Come back and see me.